creation, not from human beings.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you believe in God?
I personally don't know,
Right. Why don't you believe in God?
because I don't have any reason to do. Nothing has ever convinced me.
you
There
think-
is not enough evidence for me to believe in God.
So you think this world is a product of nothing?
Not of nothing, especially. I mean, it's quite more complicated.
No, let's discuss that because this is where.
Look, I'm not a physicist.
your-
I'm not going to get into
your
a
philosophy.
discussion with you
Your
about
philosophy. Your philosophy comes from this belief about who you
No,
are,
no,
whether you're
that's not
created
true.
or not.
That's not true.
It is,
It
it
doesn't
is.
matter if there is a God or not. All
It
I
does,
say,
it does.
no, not when it
If
comes
God
to what
tells
I'm
you- okay,
saying.
if
Not when,
God-
listen, not when it comes to what I'm saying. I say we should avoid causing unnecessary
I'll tell you
suffering.
very clearly.
Whenever we can, avoid causing any harm to other living creatures that feel pain.
If your
and
God
that can suffer,
that you
we
believe
should
in tells
try
you it's
avoid
okay
it.
to consume meat, would you argue against your God?
I wouldn't argue against my God if I actually did believe in God, but there is no
If your God
religion
told
on
you.
earth. Listen, there is no religion on earth that dictates you to consume meat.
Where did you get
There
that
is
from?
no
Where
religion
did you
that
get this
says you
from?
have to kill animals.
No, where did you get that
and
from?
maybe, yeah, even if you...
Where did you get that from? Which religion have
I
you
know
studied?
that. Tell me any religion that says
no.
you have to eat meat.
Hang on. Are you saying...
Which religion dictates you have to
Look,
kill
look,
animals
wait.
in order to be a good
You're
religious
confusing
person?
several options.
No, I'm not.
If God allows you to eat what is pure from the animals,
Yeah, exactly. He
Wait,
allows you. He
wait,
doesn't
wait,
dictate
wait,
it.
wait,
You can
wait.
still choose to not
listen,
eat
please
animals.
listen. Would you have a problem with that? If you believed in God and God allows you to kill animals to consume, but
Yeah.
not to go into the extreme and to cause suffering.
Yeah.
Would you have a problem?
I think
Would you have a
God.
problem?
I think God still wants us to make moral choices, and He wants us to think about His creation. If you
don't
that's
believe
what
in
I
God, how
would-
can you even think
No,
about that?
but I think if I did believe in God, I would probably interpret it that way.
You can't-
I mean, why are you talking to me in religious terms if you don't let me answer your question in religious terms? It doesn't make any sense,
No,
right?
because you don't
But
believe
if-
in God, then
No,
you cannot then say,
don't
I
believe.
think God will say this or believe in this.
No, but
Because
I
this
still
is coming
think-
from your, what? Guesswork.
Wouldn't you say that God actually wanted you to think about His creation from your perspective, not my perspective? But if you think about what God created, and He created all these creatures on this earth, and some of them have consciousness, some of them can feel pain, some of them can suffer, and other things that He created that we can also eat can't feel pain, they can't suffer. And nowadays, maybe not earlier on, but nowadays we are in a situation where we can actually choose to only eat the things that do not suffer, and it doesn't cause any harm to anyone, to any living creature, right? Wouldn't you think that a good,
Not every
loving
creature.
God,
Make a statement.
wouldn't you think that a good, loving God would rather you didn't cause unnecessary suffering to the creatures that He so well designed and that can feel pain?
See?
Do
So
you
now
see my
you're-
point?
I do, and I see what the problem with this point.
Okay.
You're saying God, a loving God, would not allow unnecessary.
No, I didn't say He wouldn't allow. I never said that.
Okay, so if a God allows people to consume meat from animals, you don't have a problem with that in principle.
Okay,
Yes?
think about it this way.
Is
If
that right?
you have, no, not necessarily. Think about it this way. If
Tell
you
me
have,
the problem.
if you have Muhammad, and he had an opportunity. You put Muhammad in a room with a lamb, so a baby sheep. There is a baby sheep, and there is also some lentils and some amazing plant food that are very healthy and don't cause any harm. Would Muhammad go for the lentils, or would he say, no, I'm going to get a knife and slit this lamb's throat?
Very emotional argument. I'll tell you why this doesn't work.
Why would he do
I'll tell
what?
you why it's an emotional
Yeah.
argument. Look, you, for some reason, have become like a robot in your thinking. Sorry to use that analogy. You kill.
I do.
Yeah,
Because-
you kill millions of bacteria with your antibiotics, and you say,
You know,
Let me
if it's
finish.
about bacteria,
Let me-
you kill way more bacteria if you consume animal products because
let me
so
finish.
many antibiotics
Let me
are
finish.
actually
Let me
used
finish.
in animal agriculture.
because in your thinking, bacteria don't feel any pain. Plants
Yeah,
don't,
sorry.
No, plants don't feel any pain. It's okay. You become so desensitized in thinking, oh, you cut the plant and you say it's not painful. The plant's reacting. I can see that in the graph. The plant's reacting to it.
Would you feel more comfortable
Excuse me,
splitting
listen.
a lamb's throat or
Listen.
chop up a carrot?
Listen.
Is there a difference in reaction? What
when
do you
we look
feel?
when you look at it, you next time you go, when you actually slit the branch from a tree and the tree reacts, and you're saying,
Like
you
evolutionary
silly tree.
speaking, it doesn't
You know,
really make
I'm like
sense
a
for
robot.
trees or
I'm like a
plants to feel
robot.
pain
I'm
because
gonna
they can't
kill you
avoid
anyway.
the situation.
So look, your selective emotion doesn't help. That's the problem with selective emotionalism.
It's not a
You are showing
selective emotion.
selective
It's not
emotionalism.
selective emotion.
Remember what I said earlier on about human beings
it's
like
not a
yourself?
selective
Look,
emotion.
okay.
They feel pain.
Would
That's
you,
what scientists say as well.
brother?
Even if
brother,
let's go down that
no,
path.
I want to bring the
then.
example again.
Okay.
Now, should that person feel any pain or emotionalism in slicing you?
If I don't take any harm from it, it's a difficult question, but that's not the situation we're talking
And the difficult
about.
answer is
It's
what?
not.
I want a difficult answer for a difficult
I guess
question.
it's very natural and very humane to actually feel something because you relate to
you don't
other
feel
human
anything.
beings. Yeah, but if you
You don't
are
feel
a
anything.
feeling
Like you don't feel anything for a
emotional,
plant
empathetic
or a bacteria.
person,
Link.
you still relate, right?
No,
so
link,
it's probably
link.
going to do some
You don't feel anything
psychological
for a
harm to
plant.
yourself if you do that. But let's go back to the plant argument because you said you think that's a reasonable.
Apparently they cry as well.
Because you said that's a reasonable argument. I want just to let you guys know that if you decide to eat animals, in order for the animals to grow up and to get big and strong so that we can eat their bodies, they need to consume a shitload of plants. So if we consume animal products, what we have to do is actually we have to grow way more plants, feed the plants to the animals, then kill the animals in
Doesn't
order
work
to
like
eat
that.
them. So
This
we kill
is
way
the
more
false
plants.
narrative of veganism today. False narrative.
No, it's not
No.
false.
I'll tell you why it's false.
No, it's
false.
not false.
No.
Just
Over.
because, like the calculation, it's not
Every
false.
animal needs,
I'll-
every
no,
animal,
no,
animal,
let me
every
tell
animal
you.
needs 18 times more land than someone that's a vegan.
true.
That's 100% right. Absolutely.
It's 100% right.
It's
And
a
if you
very
eat beef,
false
you have
narrative.
every 16 calories
the
that you put
4
into a cow,
million years
you
on
only
planet
get
Earth.
1 calorie in return.
Listen. For
Okay?
millions of years on planet Earth,
So it's very unsustainable.
you're not listening. Millions of years on planet Earth,
Yeah.
without this kind of farming, the animals and plants, they live together in a nice ecosystem.
Yes.
But what we do is not natural. That's not where we get our meat from.
Please. You are
This
not.
is not an
so
argument.
So your argument on the crux is, if, for example, animals are okay in their natural habitat, you can have a nice burger out of them, willingly or by force.
Why should
or by-
you?
Wait, let me finish.
Why should you kill an
Let-
animal
no,
if you
let
don't
me
have to?
finish. Your argument is,
Told you.
we are producing. The production industry for meat is such that, it's not right. But if you now have a natural ecosystem where animals are farmed in a natural way in the ecosystem which is not harmed. You don't need to grow any more plants, you need to have too much, overpopulated or crowded of
Yeah.
animals and chicken. Then someone can easily go and say, nice burger out of it, no problem. So the argument eventually comes down not about veganism, it's to do with what? How the meat industry currently is producing meat. What you're arguing for is instead of veganism, is
No.
we need a better system of
No.
meat production.
No, that's
I
not
agree,
true.
But no with veganism.
I like all people
Thank you.
agree on that. We get that. Right? I guess
No, veganism.
everyone is against
Veganism by
factory
itself
farming, and
is
that's
not
at
an
least
issue.
something. However,
I think I can come to a conclusion.
no,
It's nothing
the
to do with
question you
veganism,
didn't answer
it's to do
you
with
did
meat
not
production.
answer the main question. The question is why would you want to kill an innocent sentient being if you don't have to? And your God doesn't command it or anything. It's your choice. Why would you rather cause harm to an animal, to your own health, and the planet, and your future children,
If
right?
God allows
Why
you
would
to
you
have
do
a
that?
burger from your chicken and you like chicken burger,
Yeah.
why am I going to deprive you of your freedom and your pleasure from it? Tell me.
So you think taste is worth more than life?
If God allows you for that.
So then taste is worth
No,
more than
I'm
life.
asking
What if
again
I
this
say
question.
my God allows me to eat
No, you don't
human
believe
meat?
in God, so it's 11 question.
No, but no. But it's a thought experiment.
if
What if I
God-
say my God says it's okay to eat humans?
Okay, let's talk about God exists or not. Because
No, let's not talk about that. We had
should
that
talk-
already.
No, we haven't.
We had that
We haven't.
already. The
reason
question
why
is,
the discussion
if
is
you
not
don't,
fruitful
if you
is
don't
because
want
you're
to,
not dealing with the very fundamental aspects of the problem.
if you don't have
Does
to
God
kill
exist or
someone,
not?
why would you kill them? If you don't have to kill someone, if you don't have to cause unnecessary harm, if you don't have to harm our planet, our future generations,
It's not harming the
why
planet.
would you do
Just
that?
because
animals
you
Why?
have again.
Give me one reason.
When a
one
lion
reason. I don't
consumes
think
a zebra, is it harming the animal, the planet?
you're not a lion. You didn't
So-
sniff my ass when you
so
got
listen,
here.
so listen.
You don't eat your own children. You're not a lion.
Excuse me.
Lions are no moral agents, and we should not look up to them for morality.
When animals are consumed in the
Yeah.
animal kingdom, you
Yeah.
don't have a problem with that.
I didn't say that. I still see the suffering of the animals that are being consumed,
But you
and I
do not
think
have a
for the
problem
animals
with
that
lion
are being
eating a
consumed,
zebra.
it's a horrible thing. But lions or any other carnivorous animals in the wild are not moral agents. They don't have the cognitive capacity to actually think about good and bad, about right and wrong.
Who made it that way? Who made it that way?
Then we
Your
get back
God.
to either evolution or God.
No,
but
your
this
God.
is not the question. The question is,
this is the
if you
question.
have the choice between not killing and killing, why would you kill and cause a ton of unnecessary suffering?
What about no
What if
option?
you don't have? What if you don't have any option? I mean, this is not the world we live in. I would, if I was like, if I were on a
Okay.
deserted island
Now-
and it was either me or the animal, I would probably kill the animal. I would.
So
I see
she's
that.
okay
I
when
mean,
it comes to
but-
necessity.
No, but this is for
Is that what you're
survival.
saying? So for necessity, it's okay.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm against unnecessary suffering.
Right. So unnecessary is a subjective term, right?
The pain is still going
So
to be
pain
there.
was never an issue then. Oh.
And it's still bad for the animal.
Listen.
Yeah?
I'm really surprised with this concept of veganism that you now propagated. Now, even pain is not an issue.
I never said pain is not an issue.
That's what we established now.
No.
If it's by necessity, you don't care about pain. You kill it and eat it.
No, it's not. No.
You just said it.
I mean,
You
I
just
would,
said
I
it.
would also eat another human being
No,
if it was for
no,
necessity.
no.
Of course, if
you
it's,
have,
if you're
you
in
have-
a situation
no, if you
where
have
it's,
a goat. Oh, so inconsistent.
yeah, but if I don't have to, I would not do it. Have you heard about these plane crashes, for example, where a
So
plane crashed down
inconsistent.
and there were like some people that were injured and they didn't survive, and the other people could either choose to starve or eat the remains of the other person?
Dead bodies do not feel pain. But you
Even
just
if
said,
they were still
you just
alive.
said, look at how inconsistent.
Would it be better if all of them died, or would it be better if they killed one member of their crew
Let me
and
now-
ate them
Let me ask you this question.
and would survive?
If you are in a desert island, as you said earlier on, and
not
there was
contradicting
nothing,
myself there.
there's nothing else about this one goat, no other food. To
Yeah.
survive, would you not care about the pain that you're going to inflict on the goat and eat it?
I never said I wouldn't care about their pain. I said I still see the suffering of the animal.
But you still
If-
eat it.
I would out of necessity.
Yeah. So out of necessity, you don't care about the pain.
I didn't say I wouldn't care about the pain.
If you
It's
did
the
care about the
same-
pain, you don't eat it.
Why
But
not?
when you eat it, you don't care about the pain. You say it doesn't matter if it's painful or not.
No, that's not true. No, it's not.
If you have a baby to kill or not, and somebody says, when I kill a baby,
about necessarily killing someone
listen.
or not,
If you have a
right?
baby
Yeah.
and you feel like the baby's going to suffer some pain if I kill it, and
Yeah.
I still kill it anyway,
Yeah.
was the pain and suffering relevant?
Of course.
No, it doesn't. You could kill it anyway. It didn't affect you in any way. You killed it.
No, it doesn't affect me, but it affects the baby. And if
It
you
affected
don't
the
have
goat.
to kill the baby, if you
It
don't have
affected
to
the
kill
goat.
the animal, if you don't have to kill a human,
So now,
you
now
shouldn't
I know,
do that.
I know now. Vegans in
I mean,
their real core.
I still don't understand what you think justifies unnecessarily taking the life of another sentient being.
What? Who decides
We don't need to
unnecessary?
justify it, so that's where we go now.
Yeah.
We don't have to justify our actions, so I can just go around and shoot people in the head because I don't have
Who
to
decides
justify my
what is
actions.
unnecessary?
That's like, your
How is this different? But that's what you say. We don't have to justify actions that harm others. Of course, we do have to justify our actions if other people or animals are involved. If there is another creature involved that does feel pain and they can suffer.
justify eating the animal when you don't have any other options.
When I don't have any other options, that is exactly my justification. That I don't have any other options, right? Because otherwise, I would starve to death, right?
Why?
This
Why?
is
Eat grass.
this is a reasonable.
Why can you not eat grass?
If I could eat grass, I would eat grass instead. Yeah.
Why can you not
if
eat
there
grass?
was any fruit or veg.
Why can you not eat grass?
I'm actually. I think. I'm not actually sure, but I think physiologically we're not capable of digesting
Oh,
grass. Are we?
physiologically, you're capable of eating meat, and you're saying it's a problem.
No, I think we are not.
We're going back
No.
now.
Listen, I said I am not sure, but I think physiologically we are not capable of digesting grass and living on grass.
We are
If
capable
we
of eating
were,
meat.
yes, it's not a reason.
Case closed.
This is not a
Case
justification. We are capable
You're
of
made
digesting
to
human
be okay
flesh.
in eating meat that you want to eat.
Yeah, but look, the fact that we
if you
are
want
capable.
to eat a goat, it's okay, right? Because your body is designed
You
in
could
that way.
still say if you want to eat a human baby,
Because
it's
you're-
okay because we can digest the human flesh.
But if
This
you don't
is
want
not
to,
an argument.
but if you don't want to, because your God tells
Yeah,
you
if I
not
want to eat a human baby, it's okay. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm
that's
saying,
what you're saying.
No,
but that
this
is
is why.
exactly what
no,
you're saying. Of
now,
course it
now
is.
let me respond. This is exactly the very reason why I said all of this discussion.
How is it different? How is
Can I
eating
answer?
a
Can I
baby
answer?
different from
Can
eating
I
a
answer?
pig?
Can I answer? I don't eat pig anyway. So
From eating a lamb or eating any living
Can
creature?
I answer? As I told you from before, all of those discussions are on the periphery, not dealing with the very fundamental question.
Why would you kill
I eat.
a being if you don't have to?
I eat. For example, I would eat other animals like chicken or a lamb, for example, because I believe in a creator who's allowed me to eat them and created me in a way to even digest their meat. You don't even believe in a
Do
creator.
you agree that you can digest human flesh as well?
Listen, I believe my dietary law comes from what?
Do you agree that you're physiological?
You're not even listening to the
Capable
answer.
of
My
digesting
dietary
human flesh.
allowance doesn't
Yeah.
come from my whims and desires or only from my digestive system. It comes
No,
from.
I'm not saying that.
It comes from.
That's what
a
you are
standard.
saying. You say we can digest meat, therefore it's okay to eat meat.
No, I'm-
We can digest human flesh. It doesn't mean that it's okay to eat humans.
You need to listen to the argument.
Yeah.
I am saying.
Okay, try again.
The justification comes from the creator who created me.
Yeah, but we don't have to talk about that because
and
we don't agree there. It doesn't make any sense to actually go about this topic.
It does. Because
I
that's
say
why
we
you
should-
disagree. Veganism comes
No,
with a philosophy.
I say we should avoid unnecessary suffering whenever we can. If I
is veganism
have a child here and I can decide
make it
if I
simple.
want to hit the child or I don't, what would be the best option?
If a
Should I
child
hit
was
the
going
child,
to, if a
or should
child
I
was
not
going to
hit the
kill
child?
you, and the only way to stop is
The
to
child
hit him.
is not going to. It's just an innocent baby. Shall I kick the baby and step on it and jump on its head, or shall I just leave the baby in?
Leave the
alone?
baby alone.
Right? Why?
Why? Because you have this moral feelings.
And why should that be any different if there was a baby lamb in front of me?
Because what we're talking about, these creation animals, God created for our benefit.
But if I don't have to, why would I? They
No, no,
feel
no.
pain.
Look,
They
look, look.
suffer.
You believe
Right?
you believe in evolution as your God. I
Evolution
believe
is
in
not
it.
my God. You really get me wrong on that one if you think evolution is my God.
Doesn't evolution tell you what to do, not to do?
Evolution doesn't. No, evolution has nothing to do with
So,
morality.
what made your brains?
It's nothing.
What made your brains
Evolution
the way
is
it
a
is?
very immoral process.
What made your brain the way it is?
Evolution.
Evolution. Has evolution given you the capacity to be moral?
It has. Yes, in a way.
There
yeah.
you go. So it's evolution
Yeah,
then.
of course.
So evolution is your
The
God.
capacity, but this doesn't mean that evolution, the process of evolution, is a moral thing.
No, the
evolution is
process of
horrible.
evolution is what made you what you are. So
Yeah.
that's your God.
No, it's not my God.
Okay.
It's not my
Who-
God.
what
I don't worship evolution.
Hang on.
I'm not like in favour
So-
of evolutionary processes. I think
so
natural
basically-
selection is a horrible
So
thing.
you believe in God, but you don't worship it. That's the difference.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, you
you're
believe
just
in a
really
God
misunder-
called
I mean, if you
evolution,
want to go on
but-
misunderstanding my point,
I'm
then
not
go on.
misunderstanding it.
My question to you is, why would you kill a sentient being if you don't have to? If you know that it causes suffering to the sentient being, it destroys the planet, which is bad for
I answered all those
for
questions
the future
already.
generations
I
of
said
humans as well.
I answered it all
And
of
it's
those
bad
points
for
already.
your health.
You keep repeating.
Why would you do that? Do
You
you,
keep-
think
you keep
taste is a
repeating.
good enough argument?
You
Do you
keep-
think taste is worth more than
No,
life?
you keep repeating. I've answered all of these questions.
no, you haven't.
It was never to do with pain because when it's necessity, you're going to eat the animal anyway.
It's not about me. It's about why you
just
choose
told
to
you.
cause suffering if you don't have to.
I'm not causing suffering.
Of course. If you kill animals, if you eat them, they have to be killed, and that harms them, right?
So if
So
God-
if you are
okay,
against animal
you see-
cruelty, you should not consume animal products.
It comes down again. If God allows us to take the life of animals
Yeah.
for our consumption, you said fundamentally
Now
in
we're back to
principle.
God.
No. This is
You're not-
where the discussion should be because all the way it comes
I've
from.
got to go, but 100% agree with everything you said. Every single
Right.
thing that you
Thank
said.
you so much. Have a go on.
Yeah. Is veganism true or is it false?
Veganism is an ideology. It
is an
can't be
ideology.
true or
It is
false.
an ideology. It is an ideology.
Like religious beliefs.
So basically, you've come to accept veganism, and you haven't even explored the history of veganism. Who are vegans?
It's nothing about the history.
does veganism carry a truth value or not? Because a proposition...
If you say that morality... Yeah.
When you put forth a proposition
Yeah.
that veganism is better than Islam, for instance...
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm giving you
But
a
yeah,
hypothetical here.
as an example.
You can give any type of hypothetical, any
Yeah.
type of proposition you want
Yeah.
to. When you open your mouth and you make a claim against something else, automatically you've got to affirm that it carries certain truth values. Therefore, it is either true or it's false. That's what the brother's trying to get across to you. When you claim that veganism is more truer than the next best thing...
No.
Hold on. When you claim that veganism is more true than the next best thing, you're implicitly stating that your statement is more true than anyone else's. So that's what he's trying to get across to you. Is veganism true? You said no. Veganism is ideology.
It's not a truth claim. What I'm saying is no.
Even that's a truth claim. Anything that you state, any
listen.
word, any sentence that comes out of your mouth in the form of a proposition carries truth values. So
Not necessarily. I mean, we can talk about this.
That's the truth claim right there. It's either true or it's false.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Listen. What I say is, we can have this discussion. Like the baseline for every argument I'm making is that I am against unnecessary suffering. If you don't agree, if you do not agree with me on this one, if you don't think that we should avoid suffering, then we don't have to talk about it, right?
That's fine. The reason why I don't think that's a baseline is because when you claim something, if you claim that there's a criteria for suffering, such that anything more than a particular point doesn't constitute suffering, less than a particular point doesn't constitute suffering, what you're actually appealing to is a moral framework, a moral standard.
Yeah.
So what that then opens the question up to is, where does your morality come from? And is your moral standard true or more truer than the next person who holds moral standards?
But that depends on whether you think that moral standards can be true at all, whether there is... I mean, then we go to meta-ethics, right? Are we talking about objective morality or is morality subjective and so on, right? That's not where I want to go. That's not what I want to...
It's unavoidable. Because as soon as
No, it's not. If you agree with the statement that unnecessary suffering, whether it's caused to humans or animals, is a bad thing.
By the way,
veganism is the only logical position you can take.
As Muslims, I don't think we would disagree with the fact that if suffering occurs towards someone else, you wouldn't refrain yourself from that, right? Because in Islam, there's no harm and there's no reciprocating harm. So we're not told to go out there and simply harm people for the sake of harming, or animals for the sake of harming. We have standards, but what we understand by those standards is that it's based upon a moral system which is from an absolute source.
Yeah, but the question is, if you don't have to cause harm, why would you?
But once you negate that there is every absolute source for morality, then you can't prove that your moral standing is
and
more
I'm not saying I can. And I don't even say that my moral standards are true or have to be true. No, I'm not being emotional. It's not true.
You're not being rational, you're being emotional.
Look, I just have a different first premise. My first premise is that I think suffering is bad.
But that's not the first premise.
Yes, it is.
It's a moral viewpoint, and therefore it comes
Call
back
it
to
whatever
morality.
you might. This is where I start from. I think unnecessary suffering is bad. I think if I have a child here and I hit the child for no particular reason, just because I enjoy it or for whatever, this is a bad thing and I shouldn't do it. Right? If you agree with this statement, if you think hitting children without any reason is a bad thing, you should go vegan. If you listen to anything that I've said today, you should go vegan. If you agree with the fact,
It's not that simple. It's simply
if
not
you
simple.
agree with the viewpoint that unnecessary
You
suffering
need
is
to deal
bad,
with your vegan philosophy. That's what you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid that.
it's causing unnecessary
But
suffering.
you see, the problem is you're trying to avoid the underlying philosophy of veganism.
No, it's
You're
not about
you're
whatever you
willing
think
to
the
discuss
underlying
it.
philosophy
You
of
know that
veganism is.
when the
People
vegan
go
philosophy
vegan for very different
is
reasons.
examined, it's going to fall apart.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's
so let's
just
do
look,
that.
there are so many different
subjective and inconsistent.
people who are vegan, and they go vegan
Your-
for very different reasons.
Your arguments are all emotional.
No, they're not.
That's what we've been discussing all that time.
I mean, I could argue that believing in God is only emotional. You don't have any evidence
No,
on this.
no.
You don't have more evidence
Okay,
to believe in
let's
God
talk
than
about
I
God,
have
whether our belief in God
to
is
think that
emotional or
unnecessary
rational.
suffering
Okay,
is,
now I disagree
is
with
bad.
you. The belief in
Yeah,
God is
look, I don't want to talk about God because it's nothing
because
to
you
do
know
with
that
me
it's
for this.
rational. Because you
No,
know that
I
it's
don't think
you
it's-
know.
Have you been told not to?
Have I been told what?
Is this from experience where you know that as soon as you get to
No, it's-
absolute moral standards,
Yeah.
that you're going to be
Veganism false.
exposed in some way?
I don't understand the question.
Your team in veganism, your society of vegan societies, whatever,
Your society.
have they told you not to go and talk about this?
About what? About religion?
Talk about absolute morality.
There are so many religious people who are vegan. There are even Muslims who are vegan.
Not denying whether there's
Yeah, but this
religious
is
people
nothing
who
to
are
do with
vegans,
my.
whether there's
This
atheists
is
who are
nothing to
vegans.
do with my position. That's why I said. I mean, we don't have to agree on any. We don't have to agree on
Your
everything.
position is an emotional one. That's what we're saying.
No,
All along.
no. Look, I was thinking about morality. I do not, like most of you probably. You believe in God. You think morality comes from God. Okay, I do not think so. But I do think that unnecessary suffering is bad. I think it's bad to actually hit someone in the face if they don't want to be hit in the face because it causes them pain and they would like to avoid that. That's like.
So how would you objectively
someone or
Yes,
just hitting someone?
How would you objectively prove to someone else who disagrees with you that your position is more true than their position?
I can't.
That's my point.
Yeah, but neither can you.
But we can. We believe in an absolute standard.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
saying-
why I
but you
wanted to
believe,
draw-
that's the key
Okay,
word,
okay.
you believe. But don't you believe that unnecessary suffering is bad? Never ever have I heard from any of you
We've just said
that,
we've just
that
said
said, no, I
unnecessary
think
suffering is
unnecessary
bad.
suffering
But
is great
here's-
and we should all go around and punch each other in the
Here's
face.
the crux of the matter. What is your definition of unnecessary?
You still didn't answer the question.
What is the
I just did. I said
The
You
moment
still
we
didn't
say-
answer my
I
question.
said-
Why would you rather
You
kill
shouldn't
a
even kill any
sentient
animals.
being than not kill a sentient being? Why would you rather cause harm, cause suffering, if you don't have to? If you have the choice to just eat something else instead of something that was breathing and living and feeling joy and pain and happiness, why would you kill that being, cause suffering, damage your own health, and damage the planet and the environment for future generations? Why would you do that? For what reason? Honestly. Yeah, no. I'm like the only woman in this circle.
Do you know why your emotions is not appealing to people's intellect? Because it's just an emotional argument.
I think I'm pretty rational about this.
No, no.
Look,
So far,
telling
you've
me that
provided-
I'm emotional
so far,
doesn't
you have
really
provided
debunk
emotional
my
arguments.
argument.
It has. So far,
No.
you talked about pain and you said, if you are in need of necessity, you don't bother about pain, you're going to kill that animal and eat it. So,
Yeah.
it's not about because of pain, it seems like because of something else.
No, that's not true. It's not true. I think causing unnecessary suffering is bad, okay? I think we don't have a moral justification to cause suffering to a sentient being if we don't have
It's
to.
our moral statement.
If we don't,
Causing unnecessary suffering is bad, it's our moral statement.
yeah.
Okay. Is your moral statement better than anyone else who disagrees with you?
I did never say that. I say if
That's
you
your opinion.
agree.
That's your opinion then.
Yeah,
You
so
should
it
not
is
even
your
discuss-
opinion
No,
if
no, no.
you- if you
No,
don't
you
agree
cannot
with
even
that.
you cannot
But-
even just say it's better. Oh, let's all be vegan
Look-
because your opinion, you don't even know what it is. In a better or not. It's a
Well,
self-defeating concept.
It has to be better.
No, it's
If it's
not
not
true.
better, then why are
I'm
you
not
even
saying
wasting?
it's better.
Then
I never
why are
said
you even
that.
asking anyone then?
Why get upset? If it's not better, why get upset?
You don't need to have absolute truth or anything. The only thing you have to accept is that unnecessary suffering is bad.
No, but if your opinion, if I disagree with your opinion,
Yeah?
and your opinion and mine are equal,
Yeah.
why are you getting so upset if I disagree with your opinion?
I don't get upset if you disagree with my opinion, but I would like to have a rational discussion with you and listen to your arguments so I can update my
Okay,
own
so-
opinion.
Right, okay, so... are
This
you
is
saying
very
that-
important.
So you're saying that causing harm, so you're saying that causing harm
Yeah?
unnecessarily is wrong, yes?
I think so, yeah? That's my conviction.
What about causing harm to yourself?
Chickens everywhere.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that, guys. Look,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we do to these animals. These are sentient creatures, right? They suffer. That's bad, right? We don't have to do that. But if you go to KFC or to any of these places, if you go by to the supermarket, or even if you go buy your halal meat, right? These are the circumstances that these birds are raised in.
We should go and buy meat from.
You shouldn't go buy any meat if you don't have to. Why would you choose to do that if you don't have to?
Look at your fallacy of your arguments now again.
What is my fallacy? I'm
You
to
picked up-
learn,
no, listen.
to learn about my own
Thank you,
fallacy.
thank you. You picked up an example where animals are overcrowded in a very bad environment,
Yeah.
which seems somehow depicts to you is.
But this is where we get our meat from. Yeah, go on.
So it seems to be this particular environment is causing them suffering.
Yeah.
So if I now tell you, I go to a place where I can buy chickens from, we're freely roaming in a nice garden, and then they are all slaughtered, and I have a nice burger out of it. Now,
So you think killing an animal does not harm them?
Yeah, but-
It's not
now-
causing suffering
yeah, but
if we
now-
kill an
yeah, but-
animal.
yeah, but
Is
let me
that
finish
your
argument.
position?
listen.
That's
so
what
now,
you just said.
Now,
Yeah, but let me finish
your
argument.
emotional argument is this. You shifted your first premise of unnecessary suffering there in an environment which I agree is unnecessary, and I gave you an environment which was
environment.
very
An
conducive,
alternative.
very happy environment.
Yeah. So if I have a human being who's very happy,
Excuse
and
me, excuse me. And
Let me
then,
finish argument, let me finish
instead of talking about that initial premise, that, oh, bad condition,
I never said anything about bad conditions.
okay, what's wrong with that? Tell me.
There is many things wrong with that.
What's wrong with that? What,
It causes unnecessary suffering.
what causes unnecessary suffering? What exactly causes unnecessary suffering?
Them being there in this situation, being crowded,
Crowding,
being trampled,
crowding, a kind of
having-
crowding,
Yeah.
Okay, so if I give you an
mean,
alternative,
Then there will be double the numbers
Excuse me.
as well, and then double the numbers
No,
there.
no,
and
we
then
breed
how are
them
you going to
into
feed them?
existence.
Okay,
How are you
one
going to
moment,
feed
one
them?
moment.
Chickens don't breed at that rate.
Where are you going to find
They
food to
only
feed them?
exist. There is only
So
so
if
many chickens on
if I give you an alternative, do you hear my brother? If I give an alternative to crowding, which is not crowding, so that's taken care of, and what else?
Yeah.
Okay, what other
What about killing them? What about killing them? Don't you think killing is causing harm?
Wait.
If you
So-
don't think so,
excuse
why
me.
shouldn't I kill you?
So
If it
now,
doesn't cause any harm,
listen, so now it's shifted from overcrowding to killing them. So it doesn't matter whether you are crowding them or not, it's about killing them. That's your argument,
it's
right?
about not causing unnecessary harm. It's about respecting
Ultimately, it's about killing them or not.
It's about respecting sentient life. It's about not causing harm if we don't have to. And we do not have to kill these sentient beings. They value their lives. They feel joy and happiness.
They
They
value
have
their lives.
families just like we have.
So does trees.
Trees don't have families. Trees are not
What kind of
able to
vegan are you?
feel
What
emotions.
kind of vegan are you? Have you not seen the offsprings of the trees?
And even we had that before. Even if you think that
not
plants
what
actually
thinking.
can
That's the
feel
reality.
joy and happiness and pain, even if you are
Do you know
very
why you
convinced,
disregard that?
listen, even if you're very convinced that plants can feel pain, you're way better off, especially if you think that, to not consume animal products. Because what do animals eat? The animals that we consume,
now-
they all eat plants.
so
So
now
if you want to protect plants,
you are actually
the best thing you can
demonstrating
do is
the
only
reasons
eat
why
plants,
you're a
because you
vegan,
don't kill
right?
as many plants
So you're
if
saying,
you only eat plants.
so you're saying,
It's the
suppose
least
now,
suffering you can cause if you only eat plants.
so basically, if you now consume plants by the billions and zillions of trees and shrubs and bushes, yeah, millions and zillions, whole planet Earth, like how many plants there are. If you consume them because there's no animals to consume, you're saying it's not the quantity because quantity is more. You're causing them to suffer because
I
you
never
said,
said anything about quantity.
okay, so you are eating
Yeah.
as you agreed in principle. Suppose they are feeling pain. So now you are eating, consuming millions and zillions of plant life,
Yeah.
and you are saying it's okay because
I'm not saying it's okay.
because comparatively, it's better than eating animals. That's what you're saying, right?
I say yeah, because if you think that plants do feel pain, it's better to cause less harm than to cause more harm. If we have to kill plants to eat ourselves, or kill plants, because we have to kill a lot more plants
So the
to feed
concept
it
is
to the
now
animals.
coming down to causing
Listen,
the least amount of
do
harm.
you get this?
This
do
is a
you get
principle
this
in
point?
Islam anyway.
Do you get this point? You have to. The animals we consume, they eat plants. So if we want to consume animals, we have to kill way more plants in order to feed to the animals, and then in addition to that, we have to kill the animal, and then we can eat the animal. So we kill more plants and an animal in addition if we want to consume animals.
And that's a
And if you
circle of life. What do you want to do?
She doesn't believe in evolution. So one time
What?
she does,
What?
another time she doesn't.
Where
Evolution
did you
made
get
it
this
that
from?
way.
The only thing I always said is I do think that evolution is actually a thing. You are the one not believing in evolution, not me.
Your evolution
And circle
made
of life is not a moral argument.
your
I mean,
evolution made
if
a
the
cycle of
stronger
life
one,
like
if
this
the
when
one
the
with
ecological
power
system there are this
is always right. If might is right, this is kind of what you get if you follow the circle of life morality. The circle of life is not anything we want to get our morality.
is might is right in evolution.
In evolution,
Is might is right.
yeah, it's pretty much the survival of the fittest. It's not really might is right, but it kind of goes into the same direction.
So
Yeah?
if someone decides to kill other animals, might is
Yeah.
right.
No, I said evolution is nothing to do with morality. Did you listen to me at all? That's what I
Evolution
had
is
to
what
repeat
gave you the
over and
morality.
over again. Come again?
Evolution is what gave you the morality.
Evolution is?
evolution is that gave you the morality.
No, not really. Evolution led to me having a brain, right?
Did
And my
evolution think that
brain.
way? That I'm going to make some brain who can then become a moral agent?